Hello and welcome to another Python tutorial for beginners. Today we are going to talk about lists and list methods in Python. So lists are one of the four data types used in Python for built-in data types. So we have lists, there is tuple, there are sets, and there are dictionaries. But they're not quite the same. So for example, lists are ordered in that they have index 0, 1, 2, 3, and then you can get to one value using an index. They are also changeable, so you can change, for example, if index 2 is dog, you can change index 2 to cat, for instance. We will get to these later anyways, but it's just a summary. And you can have also duplicates in lists, so you can have 3 items like dogs. Tuples are also ordered, but they are not changeable. So whenever you define a tuple using like parentheses, you cannot simply change the values in tuple, but you can have duplicates. Sets are not ordered. You can change them, but you cannot have duplicates in them. So it's one of the good ways to check if there is a duplicate in a list, for example. You can simply turn it into a set, and then it would get rid of all the duplicates. Dictionaries are ordered since Python 3.7. Before that they were not ordered. Now they are ordered. You can change them, and they are based on key value pairs. And you cannot also have duplicates. So you cannot have a pair of key value which are exactly the same. Now that being said, let's get to lists. So here I have a list, and lists are known by square brackets around them, and you can store multiple items inside a list, separated by commas. And you can use either single quotes or double quotes. Now our animals variable is actually a list. Now I said ordered. What do I mean by that? So I can say print animals, and then inside the brackets I can give it a number like 0. So index 0, it means in animals look for the first item, which starts from 0. So this is 0, this is the first, this is the second. So 0 means the first item. If I print that, it prints out dog. So I said they are also changeable, and by that I mean you can say, for instance, animals and 0, which is now dog. I can set it to, let's say, I don't know, a bat. So I can change like this one dog to a bat. And now if I print animals, you can see we have a bat now instead of a dog. So that's what I mean by changeable. Now allow duplicates. So I can have here another, let's say, cat. So we have 2 cats. And if I print animals, let me just copy this so that later we use them. So if I print that, you can see we have cat here and we have cat here. So duplicates are allowed. How about determining the length of the list? So I can determine the length of the list by this method. I can say len animals. I can print this out. So I can say print surrounded by parentheses. I can print this, and we have 6. It means we have 6 items in the list. Next one, data types. So you can have various data types in the list. You can have integers, like numbers. You can also have booleans, like true and false. So if I print animals, all of them are printed out. So it is allowed. Next one, the list constructor. Let's imagine we have a tuple like John and Jack, and I want to turn this into a list. So what I do is I just say x equals list and enclose them in parentheses, and if I print x, you see I have John and Jack as a list. So I just constructed this list. Access items. So for accessing items in a list, you can simply say animals, again square brackets, and 0 would be dog. If I say 1 would be cat. Let's print this, and we have cat here. Crazy bikers. Now, negative indexing. You just saw that for printing out the first item in a list, I said index 0. What if I want to access the last item, but I don't know exactly which number? So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I don't know, there are 4 items in there. So I can simply say -1, and it gives me the last item. Let's print this out. Rabbit. And of course -2, you can guess, hamster. -1, -2. Now changing a range of item values. Imagine you want to have or choose the items from the second index, that is index 1, to this one. So index 1, 2, and 3. How do you do that? So you can say print animals. Inside brackets you have 2 values. The number of the one that you want to start from, 1. So this is 0, this is 1. And let's say to this one, so there is 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So I would say 1, 2, colon, 4, because it means 1, 2, 3, so up to 4, but not including 4. So if I print this out, I should have, as you can see, cat, bird, hamster. So cat, bird, hamster. What if I want to have the one from the first one to the third one? You guessed it correct. 0, 1, 2, so 0, 1, 2, and up to 3, but not including it. In this case, I can get rid of 0 actually. Let's print this out. It means dog, cat, and bird. I have the first 3. And if I want to say from 0 to the end, so 0, 1, 2 to the end, I have no idea what end could be, so I will just, I won't put anything here. So 0, 1, 2, it starts from 2, 3, 4, it will go to the end. Now insert items. How do you insert, let's say, more animals here? Well, you can use several ways. One of them is called insert. So let's just say we have this animals, and we want to insert an item in the second position, that is in index 1. So already index 1 is occupied by cat, but I want something to replace this one but not remove it. Just put something here so that cat goes to item number 3. So I would say 1, insert something in index 1, and what is it? Let's say bat. Now if I print animals, what happens? Look, there is dog, now there is bat, so 0, 1, index 1, and then we have cat. So we did not remove cat, we did not replace it, we just put something where it was and we moved it forward. So that is for insert method. more adding. Let's go with append items. So how do we append items? So appending items means to just append, yeah, to add one item to the end of the list. For example, I say x equals animals dot append, and let's say bat. What happens if I print out x? Now, we don't have anything. Why is that? It's interesting that this x, this method does not return any value. It just appends something to the end of the animals, so it's not returning any new array. So let's just do it, and now let's go with animals again, and now let's take a look. We have bat in the end. Now, next one, extend list. So instead of adding one item, maybe we want to add another list to our list. So let's imagine we have this list called X, and inside X we have bat and we have rat. And I want to attach this list to the other one. How do I do that? By extend. So I would say animals dot extend X, and what does it do? It's going to add X to animals. Now if I print, if I print animals, what happens? Now you see dog, cat, bird, hamster, and then we have bat and rat at the end. What if we want to remove some list items? We can use three methods here. The first one is remove. So the way I do that is we say animals. So animals, remove, parentheses, what do I want to remove? Let's say I want to remove cat. Now, if I print animals, let's just copy this for later reference. If I run it, now you see we have dog, bird, hamster, and rabbit. We don't have cat anymore. So, with remove cat, I have removed it. If I want to remove a specified index, for example, we want to remove the second item in the list, we would say animals.pop. We give it an index, like index 1, which is the second item. Now if I print animals, you would see again cat has been removed. If I go for index 2, bird, you see now bird has been removed. And if I just don't give it a number, let's see what happens now. You see, the last item, rabbit, has been removed. So if you don't give it a number, it pops off the last item in the list. Now, delete method. So with this one, I can say del and animals. And then, let's say dog. Dog. Now, if I print this out, oh, I made an error. Oh, yeah, instead of this, I should use an index. So let's say 0, which is dogs. Now if I run, now you see dog, the first item in the list, index 0, has been deleted. And if I just simply use del animals, it means remove all of it. What happens if I print this out? Is something going to happen? Let's see. Nope. Name animals is not defined. It means it has deleted the list, so it can't find it. Now clear the list. If you want to get rid of all the items in a list, you can simply clear it. For example, let's say animals dot clear. Now if I print this out, you see an empty list. It has cleared the list for us. Loop through lists. If I want to loop through lists, I can do it in two simple ways. A for loop, so I would go for, let's say I in animals, oops. For I in animals, that is for every item in animals, that is dog, cat, bird. So I refers to these words, not numbers, not indices. So for I in animals, print I. Let's see what I is now. Let's run this. Now you see we have items, dog, cat, bird, hamster. If I use the same for loop but using range, if I say for I in range and give it a number. So I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or I can also say len animals. That is for the length of animals, whatever length it has. So for I, in this number, now I become a number now. It is not the items anymore, it's a number. For I in range, this, print I. Now what do you think I is? Words or indices? Now you see, we have indices 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is 5 numbers here, because the length is 2, 4, 5. And it starts from 0. If I want to get access to the items, I would say animals. Now since I is the number, now if I say animals, I means animals 0, which is dog, so this will print these. Now let's see. See? Dog, cat, bird, hamster, rabbit. If you want to sort the animals, the list items out, alphanumerically, that is in terms of alphabet or numbers, we can use sort method. So if I say animals dot sort, and if I print this out, what do you think will happen? None, because this doesn't return any value. That's why I have to sort it first here, and then I should say now print animals for me. If I print it now, you see, it's been ordered alphabetically, B, C, D, H, R. What if I change dog, D in dog, with capital or uppercase letter, or bird, because bird is the first one here. So let's go with dog. So if I change D in dog in capital letters, do you think the order will be still the same? Let's see. Now you see dog is in the beginning, because sort, when it sorts out, uppercase letters come first. What if I have a number here? What if I have 5? What happens now? You see? Not supported between instance of int and string. It cannot compare these. So it cannot compare an integer, which comes first. So what happens if I put this inside this, that turns it into an string? What happens now? Now you see the integer in the beginning. Reverse the order. So if I want to reverse this order, simple, using reverse method. I simply say animals dot reverse, and then I can print animals. Now let's see what happens now. It's taking its time. Let's stop the program. Let's run it again. And let's wait for it to run. Okay, it's taking some time. Let me refresh this. Oh yeah, happened finally. So now you can see the reverse order, starting from R, H, B, and C. What about copying a list? So if I want to produce another list, which is a copy of this, can I simply say anim equals animals. So if I say it like that, and if I print anim, let's see what happens. Well, I get a copy, yes. So anim is now equals animals. But it doesn't mean that this is a new array or a new list, because whatever is actually a reference. So if I change something in animals, like for example dog within uppercase here, so let's just change it into lowercase and let's print this out again and let's see what happens now. You see? So now the change in animals has been reflected in change in anim. So this is not a new list, it's just a reference. Instead of that, if I want to make a new list, I can say animals now. If I, let's say, change it something like that, you can see it is, but anim now is a new list. So I can add things to it without worrying about changing animals. So I can say anim. Now let's just say anim, and for example 0 instead of dog, let's say it equals bat. Now what happens if I run this? You see, now anim is a new list. Now it's different from animals, they are not the same. That is why we sometimes need to make a copy, which gives us back the same list, but it is a new list. How about counting the number of occurrence of some items? Let's say we have two cats here, so cat and cat. If I say print animals dot count and cat 2, it means I have 2 instances of cat in animals. And how about bird? It says 1. What about bird with uppercase B? 0. The last one, joining lists using plus. We already have seen extend. We can also simply have another list. Let's just call it x equals, and here maybe we have bat and we have, let's say, penguin. I can also join these two lists simply by saying y equals animals plus x. If I print y, what do you think I get? Now you see, we have animals up to here, and then there is x, bat and penguin. So that was a very short introduction to lists and list methods in Python. Thank you for watching and listening.